Hello, hello, hello. So, time for a video. Now, it's been a while, indeed. I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks or so. Had some problems, had to move out of my office, unfortunately, which was quite a nice office. And I haven't yet got sorted out, got the internet on at my current school, which is a bit shit, but still, not to worry. So, what I'm going to do, I haven't been in live sessions for a while now. For today, I've had a cancel, well actually, I've had a couple of cancellations. So, I should be at school, but unfortunately not. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run through a couple of letters that people have posted in the channel. Okay, now, you may wonder what you're seeing on the screen. Well, I won't say anything more. You may have seen in the channel some of my comments on my previous video issues. I'm going to try to avoid copyright material, but this is for teaching purpose, or teaching purposes, I should say, and I'm not making anything out of this. So I'm going to try to avoid, but if I do, it's not on purpose, and I'm not taking any more videos down. Try and sue me in Eastern Europe. See how far that gets you. So, that being said, let's have a look at a letter. So, here we go. Somebody posted this letter in the group. I've got the, where are we? Got the case notes somewhere. Get these open. So, Michael Weir. Now, I don't think this is copyrighted. I think this says, it doesn't have anything on it. I think this is from the official OET book. Now, somebody's already used it in the OET Facebook group, but this is Adele's in Cairo. Now, again, I'm not using the material itself, merely commenting on the letter written by a student. Okay, so apologies to Adele. I hope you understand. And besides, I don't think it's yours. In any case, I think it's OET. So we will see. So Michael Weir. Okay. So first things first. What do we do? Well, oops, don't want that or that or that. Okay. What we do want is this. So we go to the task at first. As I've said, now I'm not going to run through all the lessons about what to include or exclude, etc. That's for another time. All I'm doing today is to have a quick run through of the main features of a letter. Okay, focusing mainly on vocabulary and on grammar, because I see there's quite a few errors in the letter before me. So what do we do? As you know, go to the task first. Who do we have to write to? And we have to put ourselves in the position of the reader. What do we need to know if we were the recipient of this letter? So, or the CT, we want a full neurological assessment and a possible MRI. Okay. So, let's go get out of the way. Michael Weir, okay. So, smoker, depression, overweight, 3 kids, don't need that, don't need that, don't need that. So he came in for a checkup, not feeling so good. I sympathise. I feel the same. However, so chest, skin check, blah, 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 blah. Came in, run down, not feeling so good, got some tests, still feeling a bit down. Weakness in leg, okay, repeat assessment, okay. So, basically, it's a middle-aged man, not in the best of health, it seems. Okay, he needs to make lifestyle changes, stop eating shit, cut the smoking down, do some exercise. Okay. Oh, sorry, I'll get this out of the way. Okay, yeah. So the dizziness, some blackouts, feeling stressed, breathless, short of energy. So, okay, so that's the history. We've got to write to the Dr. McLaren and request a full assessment. Okay, very good. Let's have a look. So I'm going to save the changes, and I'll put this in the library on Easy Class. Okay, so you can access it there. Now, Mr. Weir, I think you've spelt that wrong. I think it should be I-E-R. So I suppose, Mr. Weir. Okay. So, further, so I'm writing to request. Okay, that's good. Now, I always like people to make it clear in the introductory sentence. Why are you writing this letter? And more importantly, why am I reading it? So I'm writing to request further neurological assessment of Mr. Weir, a 44 years old what? Well, now, first thing, we can see from the Dear OB how old Mr. Weir is. So if you want to put the date, you can, but it's repetition. We can see it. And usually the convention, we would say 44-year-old, and that would be an adjectival phrase. 44-year-old what? Man. So to avoid this, you could either put Mr. Weir in brackets, aged 44. We can tell he's a man, he's got a man's name and a title of Mr. Though these days of trans nonsense, who can say, but still, Mr. Weir. So you could either say leave the age out, or simply say Mr. Weir, age 44, etc. So I'd take it out. And then whose, if we take out that, this then becomes a defining relative clause. Whose feathers, I think you mean whose features. Whose features are suggestive of MS. Now, that's pretty good. Okay, so we've got a simple sentence. We know what the score is. So, should capitalise that, spell it properly. Mr. Weir is an overweight, heavy smoker patient. Now, okay, now you can put, you can drop in a sentence like this, but I always think that it's a letter, so we do need some kind of cohesion and coherence. So I usually recommend something like a simple phrase regarding his social medical history, for your information, etc. It's called the gambit. It's called, when you put something such as that, it's called the gambit in either in writing or speaking. Instead of simply dropping something in, you introduce it. But anyway, we will leave that as is. Overweight, heavy smoker patient. Well, we know he's a patient, is an overweight. Now, overweight, you can use it as an adjective, is an overweight. Well, but most people don't. So we would probably say is overweight, right, and a heavy smoker. That is better. Who is now? Does the neurologist need to know he's married and he has 3 children? Well, I would say no. Does it really matter? Is that pertinent? Probably not. Moreover, he has had depression since 2012. That's good. Present perfect. For which he has been taken. I think you mean been taking. Present perfect. Continuous. Yeah. For which he has been taking citrulline hydrochloride. Okay. Mr. Weir attends. Now, why is that present simple? Mr. Weir attends. Surely it's in the past. Attended to my clinic for his routine checkup. Complained. Why is this past tense verb? Sure, it would be complaining. Mr. Weir attended to my clinic for his routine. Attended to, simply say attended my clinic, or presented. So instead of having all these extra words, you could simply say presented for his routine checkup. Complaining, we'd have to make that, change that, of tired. Okay, well, we need a verb. So we either need to make it tiredness, complaining of tiredness, or feeling tired. Okay, so make it tiredness, complaining of tiredness, stress and feeling depressed, not depressed feeling. And feeling depressed. So, got to be careful here. There's quite a few errors so far. Okay, general examinations. Okay. So, would we really begin a sentence with a noun, a phrase, of a compound general examination? You're supposed to make complete sentences. So, his general examination, or upon general examination, his vital signs, you know? So, we could maybe do it something like this. Upon general examination, his vital signs were normal apart from overweight. Well, vital signs are not overweight. He is overweight. It can be an adjective, but we can't really use it here. So, apart from him being, his vital signs were normal apart from him being overweight with a body mass index. I put an article of 27.8. Therefore, we don't need a comma. Therefore, a blood test, cholesterol and lipid level tests, presumably, and lipid level tests were ordered. 1 week later, the patient's blood test reported that decreasing blood reported that what? Simply reported. Don't need that relative pronoun. Reported decreased, or a decreased hemoglobin level, leukocytopenia associated with hypercholesterolemia. In addition, Mr. Weir, spelled that wrong again, should be was complained. Now, why is that simple past passive? Was complained? Well, that's no good, is it? Mr. Weir complained of left leg's weakness. So we can't really make this possessive, because legs can't possess it. Well, you know, in strict terms, legs might be weak, but it cannot be a genitive possessive, you know. So, Mr. Weir complained of weakness in his left leg. Weakness in his left legs, besides his previous symptoms, or as well as is better, I think. I don't like it, besides. As well as his previous symptoms. A result of that patient advised, oh dear, as a result of that, or this, as a result of that, the patient was advised to quit smoking and change his lifestyle by decreasing saturated fatty food. What's fatty food consumption? You have to do something with it. By decreasing fatty food consumption and increasing exercise. On today's genitive case review, Mr. Weir's condition has deteriorated, and he complained of dizziness. I think you mean mood swings. That's the collocation, not swing mood. Occasional constipation and tingling in both hands. On examination, he has lost sensation on both hands, well, in both hands. Change your preposition. And has diminished, well, you can't say diminished on, and has a diminished patellar reflex. Consequently, head and lumbar CT was requested. Put an article, head and lumbar CT was requested to exclude other causes to symptoms of tumour. We usually spell tumour in English with a U. My provisional diagnosis is, I don't know why it's is MS. Therefore, I am referring this patient to you for a full neurological assessment, investigation including MRI or an MRI, because it's countable. Should there be any queries, please contact me. Yours sincerely, Doctor. So I'm not going to comment on the layout in general is not too bad. I mean, okay, just some quick comments. Task fulfillment's not too bad. Layouts not too bad. I would have maybe put some phrase before that. You know, maybe broke this up. I would have because this paragraph is quite meaty. I would have broken it up. According to the case notes, there's like 4 visits or something, 3 or 4. So I would have broken those down instead of putting them all in a single paragraph. And there's lots of grammar and vocabulary. As you can see, quite a lot of stuff here needs to be changed. So that's all I'll say for this, for the time being. And let's move on to the next letter.